What's up, everybody? ML Sports Take here, brought to you by our good friends at Stanley Law Offices and Stumbling Monkey Brewing Company. You know, the Bonnies, I think there's so much that goes wrong when you're losing like this. I mean, if you get down 17-18 on the road against an average George Mason team, you're in trouble. I mean, that's just all there is to it. But aside from Oshun showing up, then not showing up, right? Like Don Welch disappearing, Kyle Lofton hit and miss, like the starters now looking totally exhausted, them having no bench, all the turnovers, all the missed layups, the slow starts. I mean, my God, they were down 9-0 before he could blink last night. Above all of that is the fact that St. Bona looks so lifeless. They just look like they don't want to play basketball. Mark Schmidt is pacing up and down the sidelines. He's looking down at the ground, you know, and walking up as a shot's going up in the corner by George Mason. You just don't see that from Mark. And that it's concerning right now because that means that something is going on. I'm not on the, in the inside walls. I talk to people here and there, but I don't get a lot of information fed to me, nowhere near the stuff that I get fed to me about Syracuse basketball. But St. Bonnie, something's not clicking inside the walls, in the locker room, whether it's cohesion with the players, Mark Schmidt losing certain guys. Guys just aren't motivated. They don't look like they want to play basketball. And that's where this thing starts, because if you're not motivated and if you don't want to play the game, you're not going to go aggressively after people defensively in the corners. Look at all the open three-pointers. For God's sakes, George Mason, they made 15 three-pointers last night. You can't have that if you're St. Bonaventure. And the missed layups and the kind of just little lazy tips and all that, I remember the Bonnies used to get on the floor a lot more, getting balls, loose balls. So the motivation and energy is not there. I think that's what bothers me the most, because it should be there this year more than any other year. Because last year you won the A-10 regular season, you won the A-10 tournament title. This should be a team that comes back this year and says, hey, we got to get over one more hump. We got to get over the hurdle. We got to win a tournament game. We got everybody coming back. We got Attaway. We have Holmes, Welch, Lofton, and Oshuni. We have everybody coming back. We have all these transfers coming in. We have some depth. Well, now they don't have depth. The transfers aren't really doing a lot. Sometimes when Kadri Adams should have been in there because a guard was struggling, whether that was Welch or Lofton in past games, Schmidt doesn't put him in there. So I don't know what that's all about as well. I mean, if it's a case where Schmidt has no confidence in the bench, or if they're just not very good, I don't know. Maybe it's a little bit of both. But the reality is this should be the year where the eggs are all back into one basket again for a mid-major program, and it's very rare for a program in the A-10 or the MAC or wherever to have all of your guys come back, all of the starters come back, plus you have the transfer portal, plus you have NIL, all these different things, these different elements and these different options for guys to leave, and little old St. Bonaventure had everybody come back for another run, and they just don't look like they want to do it. Mike Lindsley with you here. It's an ML Sports Take brought to you by the Vince Aguirre Consulting Group and Welch & Company Jewelers. Hit me on Twitter at Mike L Sports. And as I always tell you, enjoy the games.